Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yep, very good, very good.
Coming from a remote location, Dallas, Texas. I'm traveling here from Northern Virginia. I would have thought that'd be nice and warm here. Is anybody else in Dallas right now? It's cold. It's cold. Well, welcome, Venus. Welcome, Mindy. That's like a complaint. I want to take all that back. It was just an observation. Welcome, Wesley. Welcome, Fran. Welcome, Tom. Hello, Leslie, Bridget, Stephen, Marianne, Kayla, Desiree, Don. Welcome back. Welcome back, Judy. How's everybody doing? It's eight degrees in St. Louis. Oh my goodness gracious. We're supposed to be, we're real estate sales professionals. We're supposed to say it is a balmy 8 degrees in the beautiful, beautiful St. Louis. Tomorrow it may be 72. Fran, I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. Thank you for letting me know. And I completely understand that you're off camera. For the rest of you, I'm going to invite for you to turn on your cameras. I want to welcome everybody to day 5 of the 5-day challenge, how to take listings in today's market without having to go bang on doors, without having to cold call, and without having to beg. Who here wants to not beg for business? You guys okay with that? Not begging? Yes, 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 yes. All right, fantastic. We don't want to beg. And I want to jump right into the content right now and review what we've done over the past week. So what we've done over the past week was on Monday, or day 1 rather, we went through an overview of the class, of the curriculum. On day number 2, we set a foundation. Day number 3, we had a special guest who joined us, Kat. So thank you, Kat, for joining us. I don't see you here today, but I'm sure she'll be here in a moment. Day number 4, we went through self-coaching model. We talked about how you could change your results. So there's Kat. Hello, Kat. I was just talking about you. Welcome. All right. So day number 4, we talked about changing your outcome. If you're getting that same repeated after same results, how do you, and if you're not happy with your results, how do you change those? And to remind you, it's about the programming. Okay, it's about what are you inputting into your brain. And quite candidly, if there was one thing I'd like for you to, I would encourage you to get out of this curriculum this week, it would be that you understand that you have the power to be able to create your reality. And you have the power to be able to create a new reality if that's what you desire. So welcome back, everybody. Please put your videos on. Please put your videos on. Please put your videos on, because those of you that have your videos on will make more money. Those of you that have videos on will take more listings. Those of you that participate will take more listings. So we went through 3 tactics this week. We went through the for sale by owner tactic. We went through the Facebook lead generator tactic. And we reviewed the open house tactic. Day number 3 in your coaching portal, you observed me on a 9-minute call to convert a Facebook lead into a listing / buyer. And that was a Facebook lead that was from like 0. Somebody said, no, I'm not interested. You observed me using the CPI communication model to be able to get that appointment. Who recalls what the CPI communication model is? I want you to write this down if you haven't already. Sarah, would you share with us what the CPI communication model is, please?
Build rapport, ask adept questions. Oh, and now I have to, what is it, like schedule the next appointment?
Anything that starts with schedule the next appointment, I'll give you a pass. Wesley, you want to help us with number 3 on that?
Actively listening.
There you go.
Thank you, Leslie. So build rapport, and Leslie just put that in there. Ask adept questions, and then actively listen. When I reviewed through the CPI communication model, what I left out of that was, well, let me get back to that here in a second. CPI time. CPI time is the 5 activities that make you money. So I just gave you the CPI communication model. which is to be in rapport, ask adept questions, and actively listen. And now I want to review with you CPI time. So these are the 5 activities that make you money. And we're going to tie all this up. We're going to wrap all this up together today. So the CPI time to lead generate, to attend the appointments for the purpose, to lead generate, to convert the leads to an appointment, to attend the appointment for the purpose to get hired, to negotiate, and scripture role play. That is the 5 activities in your world as a real estate agent, as a professional, that make you money. Everything else needs to be done, but it's not necessarily making you money. So again, and Leslie put that into the chapter. So it's lead generate, convert the leads to an appointment, attend the appointments for the purpose of getting hired, negotiate, and script and role play. Now, that's CPI time. Let's go back to the CPI communication model. One of the steps in the CPI time allows for you to do one of the steps in the CPI communication model. Anybody want to guess what that step is in the CPI time that allows for you to effectively do the CPI communication model?
Role play.
There it is right there. It is scripts and role play. Why would scripts and role play allow for you to be more effective in the CPI communication model?
Because you're not messing up when you got a active client on the line.
Okay, I like that. Venus, that was Venus, or was that Lisa that was talking? I'm sorry. I saw you
Venus.
off mute. Okay, Venus. Thank you, Venus. So you're not messing up. Okay, well, let me say that differently. When you know what to say and you're communicating with somebody, remember the step number 3 in this is to actively listen. So again, be in rapport, ask adept questions, actively listen. So to a thing that you need, and confidence is correct as well, Kim, but a thing that you need to be able to actively listen is what? What do you need to, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Confidence in what you already know.
Okay, confidence in what you already know. What do you need to not be doing for me to actively listen to you right now, Venus?
I don't need
Now,
to
guess
think,
what?
I don't need to think about what I'm going to say next. I got to listen to what you're saying.
All right. So I'm on the road right now. So I'm a little bit miscombobulated where I don't have my, you guys don't know this, right? But I've got the big whiteboard behind in my setup at home, in my home office. And I had to, I had to reframe my notes in a manner that would work for me to be able to present this to you in a remote location. What is important to me about making sure that I know what I'm going to present today?
Make sure you don't forget something
Okay.
important.
All right.
You want
I
the
think
end
that's
result. End result.
okay. End result. So I want to end result. What result do you think I want from this class?
Sale.
A sale. Okay. What type of sale?
And also for to hire you as a coach.
Okay. Hire me as a coach.
Yeah.
Provide
Only if
value.
you're smart. Only if you're smart. There's not an inference there. Sorry. All right. My result that I want to give you as a part of this class is the result that you know how to take listings, but more importantly than that, the result that you have confidence in yourself. So let's go back to my question. Why do I have notes? Is because in the CPI framework, which I use when I'm teaching, I use when I'm presenting, I use when I'm communicating, always as much as possible, I want to be able to be in rapport with you. I want to be able to ask you adept questions when it's appropriate. And most importantly, I want to be able to actively listen. Because if I don't know what I'm going to say, I cannot effectively actively listen to you. Has a coach ever taught you that I know that you've had mentors. I know that you've had brokers. I know that you have coaches to teach you about what to say, scripts and role play. But you may not have ever had a coach explain to you that the reason why you need to know what to say isn't to be able to know what to say. It's to be able to actively listen. It's to be able to be in rapport. I was speaking with a gentleman yesterday about for sale by owners, a very successful agent. very, very successful agent. We were talking about for sale by owners, and he was sharing me. He says, well, Dan, I do this a little bit differently. I said, okay, tell me more about that. I just go in there and I just have a conversation. And I'm like, okay, that's great. That is fantastic. The reason why he could do that is because he has the confidence to be able to do that. But if you don't have the confidence to just wing it, you may want to practice on what to say so that then you could be in connectivity with whoever you're speaking with. Does that make sense to you guys? How are we doing? Yes, 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 yes. All right. Please go ahead and turn your cameras on because I want you to make more money. I want you to take more listings. I want you to participate. And Melissa, I want you to get better because I know, oh, I'm sorry. Fran, I want you to get better. It was Fran who said to me that you're not feeling well. But everybody else, please put your videos on. All right. So the 3 tactics we went through this week: for sale by owner, Facebook, and open house. What is the common theme of all those? Common theme of all of this is daily activity. Building rapport. I like that, Wesley. Building rapport, consistency. I like consistency really, Sarah, thank you. Consistency is the key to success. So if we look at how do I take listings, there are 17 different ways that I can spout off to you right now of how to take listings, where to take listings from. I'll give you a few here in just a second. But the reality of it is whatever I give you, it doesn't matter if you don't then do the activity. You guys follow me on that? Does that make sense to you? So the key to success as a real estate agent is simply, number one, is finding what you resonate with. I was sitting in a room one time, once upon a time when I was an owner of a real estate brokerage. It was a Keller Williams Realty franchise, and I was in that role for 10 years. And as the owner of that brokerage, we would have lots of meetings and powwows and all that type of stuff. And the person who runs that brokerage is called a team leader. That would be the same as a broker in other models, or just basically that's who's running the brokerage. And we're sitting in a room one day, and one of the team leaders says, "I don't want to cold call." And I just spout across the room. I'm like, "Then don't." And the other operating partner sitting in the room looked at me with these eyes like you just die, right? And I'm like, "Whoa!" I had to definitely clean that up quickly, right? I was like, "Here's the deal: you don't have to cold call, you don't have to network, you don't have to go to open houses, you don't have to do any of that, but you got to do something." So you have a choice. That was a recruiter. All right. That recruiter has a choice of how to get business. Even if it was inappropriate for me to have that conversation, but it was. I cleaned that up with the other owner. But either way, as an agent, we have a choice on how to get business. That makes sense to you guys? You could do video marketing. You could do, and I did test this paper, make sure I wasn't writing through the wall. I had to test that earlier. You could do, what else could you do to be able to get listings? You could do things like ZBuyer. ZBuyer is like a We Buy Houses platform that people will go on, they'll register, they'll say, "Hey, we want to sell the property at a discount," or whatever the case may be. And they're expensive leads, but they're good leads. Okay. I've listed in the past year about 10 or 12 from ZBuyer alone. And I have bought, renovated, and flipped 2 properties from ZBuyer. It's a great resource. You can do things.
How many did you do?
About 10.
Really? Okay.
And by the way, I'm not the one I could have done more, Don, if I was the one in the front seat. I was the one in the second seat who was converting and getting hired. If I was in the front seat, the one that was converting it from the original phone conversation, that number would have been even higher. Okay, because for you, Don, because I know you have a high skill set. I don't know if you have the capacity to be the one that's following up and making the initial call. If you do, it could even be higher.
Yeah, no, that's my problem. One of them.
welcome to real estate, right?
Yeah, my wife would tell you I have several other problems, but we can't get into that right
Well, just Donna mentioned on day number 2 about his challenge of time, right? We don't go into time during this class. During the CPI certification, I teach you how to leverage your time to be able to hire virtual assistants, how to be able to focus on those 5 activities. And if you're interested in learning about the CPI certification, I encourage for you to book a call with me. Leslie or Sarah will put a place in there for you, right? So we don't go into how to get more time in this class, but that is something that we're all going to encounter. So other ways to be able to get the listings, things like referral exchange, things like Upnest, things like Dave Ramsey, endorsed local provider, Agent Pronto, networking. One of the first things that I did when I got my real estate sales license in 2007 was I founded an organization called BNI Positive Power. For almost every single Wednesday morning for the last 15 years or so, I've gotten up and I've attended, and for a year and a half of that virtually, but besides that year and a half virtually, I've gotten up about 6 a.m., showered, got ready, went to a networking event, and I've done that for almost 15 years. What would cause me to do a networking event for 15 years? I just closed a transaction. It was a smaller transaction, a $300,000 transaction a week and a half ago from that networking event. I have a listing that is currently under contract from that networking event. I have a listing that is in pre-listing right now from that networking event. Now, that is a long-term lead generation strategy. Okay, what we're talking about with these 3 are short-term lead generation strategies. Okay, but as you develop your business, you want to have 1 to 3 short-term lead generation strategies and 1 long-term lead generation strategy. Okay, you can have 1 to 3 as you develop, right? But don't expect that you're going to start networking today that you're going to have any business from it. You're not. It's going to take you 18 months to get business from that. You may get lucky, right? You may be a really social type creature. You may just put yourself in a position where, hey, there's business right now. That's great. Right? I'm not suggesting it's not possible, but to be able to get consistency from it, it will take you about 18 months. What's the outcome of that? If you treat networking the way that I suggest that you treat networking, then for the last, say, 13 years, I've made about $100,000 a year from that group. Here's the way that's in my pocket, 100 grand from 1 lead generation source. So here is the way that I suggest that you take on networking. You guys ready for this? It's a little bit counterintuitive. You take on networking by finding out how can I help you and being targeted in who you ask that question to. So if you go into a room and there's a baker, a massage therapist, and a painter, who do you want to create a relationship with? Baker, massage therapist, painter.
Well, this is Mary Ann. I'm going to guess this is my problem because I'm going to actually try all 3. You would normally think the painter, and that's true for business, but the baker, I actually do marketing and I could use the baker, and I can also use the massage person because I might do some type of a giveaway or something like that as a gift.
All right. I love that you're thinking as a giver and you're thinking of creative ways of how to help the baker and how to help the massage therapist. Your lane of business is more likely going to need the painter than the other 2. Now you can be creative, Marion, and you're smart for thinking that way. That's going to serve you well. Typically what I'm looking for is who can I refer business to consistently. Okay. And that's going to be painters. That's going to be electricians, plumbers, handymen, roofers, people that are going to be able to provide home services. Who did I not mention in that box? I didn't mention lender. I didn't mention title company. Why did I not mention lender or title company? Is because who's their golden goose? All of us. Okay. If I was a lender and there's only one of me, I can only help one of you at a time if I'm going to be referring business back. That's it. And the reality of it is who do you think I'm going to help if I'm a lender or a title person? I'm going to help I'm going to help Don. That's who I'm going to help, or Dan, or another top producer here. I'm going to help the guy or the gal that's going to give me the business back the most. Does that make sense to you guys? So when you're looking at, from that perspective, who can I help? Then when you set up a one-on-one with somebody, what you do is you sit down with them and you ask them at some point during that first conversation, how can I help you? Then you help them. Now, here's the deal. Took about 3 flooring people before I got my flooring guy, Edward Nunez. He knows floors. That's his little slogan. And Edward has been my flooring guy for 12 years. Okay. Because the first couple of flooring people, I would give them referral, and nothing would come back. But now I'm not looking for referrals coming back per se. I'm looking for something to come back. That could be a connection. That could be an introduction. That could be helping with a client appreciation part. It could be a referral. There's a lot of ways that people can help you back. There's a lot of ways that you can help people. How else can we get listings? So we talked about videos. We talked about referrals. We talked about referral exchange. We talked about Z buyers. We talked about UpNets. We talked about endorsed local provider, agent product, networking, and then your sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence is going to be a long-term lead generator strategy. It's going to take you 18 months. If you want to have consistency through your sphere of influence, my business today, it's almost like every single segment of my business is about 100 grand of business every single year. My sphere of influence, that's about 100 grand of business right there. It's increasing as I do business. This past year was much more than that. So I have to sort of reevaluate. But what I do with my sphere of influence is I have consistent 4 client appreciation parties every single year. Okay. But the theme of all of this is that it only works when you do the activity daily, 5 days a week. So my encouragement to you is that as you put all this together, is that you understand to say, number one, what do I want to do? What's one short-term lead generation strategy? What's one long-term lead generation strategy? I'm not going to add anything more onto that initially until I'm doing the activity. Let's say it's the for sale by owner. If it's the for sale by owner, that resonates with you and you're willing to do that activity, and you will do that activity, then pick that and nothing else. Now, here's your job description. Remember CPI time, lead generate, convert the leads to appointment, a 10-day appointment for intention to get hired, negotiate scription role play. So your job description now is to simply go on 1 face-to-face or 2 face-to-faces every single day with a for sale by owner. Lead generate. 2 to 3 hours, 1 to 3 hours a day. Follow up with all the ones that you've met before and provide the value and contribute to them. Lead conversion. After you provide them value, 1 out of 7 will hire you. After they hire you, then you have to bulletproof the transaction, and then you negotiate, and around all that, your scripture, your practice, your scripture, your role play. That's your job description. I'm going to really encourage for you to stop looking at the shiny objects. I'm going to really encourage for you to stop getting distracted if I'm talking to you right now. I'm going to really encourage for you to pick your lane and then double, triple, quadruple down in that lane. Now, once that starts performing, then take a look to say, well, I'm going to pick another lane or another lane or another lane. I'm going to start doing video marketing. And if you want to know how video marketing most effectively works, and some of you are with the Mason method, so some of you were introduced to me from Krista, and if you're using that methodology, that's your lane. Well, here's the way that you could best use video marketing. The way you could best use video marketing is to be able to be a neighborhood expert, not a real estate agent expert, a neighborhood expert. To be able to take people on a community tour, to be able to my friend Frank Kletz out of San Diego taught me to be able to be a question and answer resource. So any question that you've had in your business in the past, do a 2-minute video on that. I know Minnie's doing videos. Do a 3-minute video on that and email that to your database. Guess what? Some of the responses you'll get when you email that to your database. Rosalind, you with us? I don't see Rosalind today. Sometimes you'll get a data boy or data girl. Sometimes you'll get a how much commission do you charge? And sometimes you'll get a buzz off. And for those of you that were on day 3, you know that buzz off was a little bit more explicit than buzz off. Okay, but that was an example of me using video marketing to get business. But what I want you to take out of this presentation for these 5 days, first of all, I want you to congratulate yourself, because not everybody that started this class is here today. The ones who are here today, what I could tell you about you is that you're much more likely to succeed in this business. I've got my money on you. I'm betting on you to take action. What I'm encouraging for you to do is understand what is your job description, is to find that. And then every single day of the week, you're going to take action so that you get the result that you're looking for. The result that I hope that you're looking for is to take more listings. The result that I hope that you're looking for is to position yourself so that you can have a more consistent business. Because when you have listings, oh, by the way, I may have been wrong about my predictions for the upcoming market. My predictions up until about a week and a half ago, and I'm always watching the market, my predictions for up until about a week and a half ago were that this upcoming market is going to be a lot more listings coming on the marketplace because there's been a lack of supply coming through. I'm not 100% saying that that's not going to happen. It still sort of makes sense. I know what has not happened over the last few years is there hasn't been more homes being built. The supply chains have been jacked up. Okay, so I'm a little bit more on the like the less predicting than what I normally would be comfortable with. Up until the last couple of days, I was predicting that there's going to be more listings coming on the market in March, and the market's going to sort of settle down. Over the past 2 weeks, at least in the DC metro area and in the other market areas of where I coach, what's happened is that there's been another limitation of supply. So that's what happened last year. There was about a little bit of a loosening throughout the winter through November, December, first week of January, and then boom, right, second week of January, it's tough to be able to get a house again. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Either way, I know that you'll be in the position of power regardless of what happens in the marketplace, because by the way, that's just circumstance. Ain't nothing you could do about that. Who cares? Nothing you could do about that. So instead of worrying about what's going to happen to the marketplace, instead figure out how to take listings. And again, if you're looking for like the step-by-step process of how to take a listing, of all the steps that you do so that when you go on the listing appointment, you get hired, I teach that in the CPI certification. Now, I will encourage for you, because if you're looking for the result of more listings, if you're looking for the result of having business every single month of the year, just like I have not missed a month since 2008, average of 10 sales a month, every single month of my business since 2008. Okay, if you're looking, it doesn't have to be 10. If you're looking for 2 or 3, if you're looking for 20, whatever it is that you're looking for, if you're looking for consistent business, doing business your way, if that's a result that you're looking for, I'm going to encourage for you to book a call with me. At the very least, I promise you at the end of that call, you'll have at least one nugget that will help you in your business. I promise you that. Mindy told you that yesterday when she was saying, hey, just book a call with the guy. I promise you it'll be useful to you. Now, you may be thinking, well, I've tried coaching before. I've had a coach for the last 14 years myself. I haven't always had the right coach. I remember, thank you, Desiree, for she says she's already booked a call. Desiree, you are smart. I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, do you know the one thing that I wanted to learn that I was struggling with? The biggest thing that the pandemic for me personally was the fact that I couldn't go to the gym anymore. So I got a Peloton. Did anybody else get a Peloton here? All right, Don did. Anybody else get a Peloton? Alex did, right? Okay, so I got a Peloton. I got some dumbbells, some weights, some kettlebells. I got a jump rope. I never could jump rope. In fact, my personal trainer for years, John Hastings, tried to teach me how to jump rope. Every single time I'd go to the gym, he would do like these small mini group sessions, training sessions, and he'd have to change. He knew if there was jump rope in there, I would make him change it. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. And if you make me do that, I'm not coming back tomorrow. Right now, we had a great relationship. So it was like more of a loving, teasing type relationship. Lisa, you can do push-ups. I know you can. I've got faith in you. But here's the deal. John, who actually was a former coach in the NFL for strength training, I'd hired him to work out. And this is a very professional coach. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. And he could not teach me how to jump rope. Beginning of the pandemic, I knew I wanted to get some cardiovascular. I was getting a little bit bored riding the bike. I hate running. So I wanted to figure out how to jump rope. Do you guys know who taught me how to jump rope? Anybody want to guess? Who's that, Mindy?
Maggie.
Your daughter?
My, at the time, 10-year-old daughter, Maggie. Maggie taught me how to jump rope. Because one day I'm out back and I'm like almost tangled up with myself. And she says, Dad, all you have to do is you just have to look at the floor in front of you, and the rope just has to hit the floor in front of you. That's all you have to do. Here, watch. And I could jump rope today. So all I needed was the right coach.
She's a smart cookie.
She is a smart cookie. She's at a gymnastics meet. That's why I'm in Dallas, Texas right now. It's her first national gymnastics meet. I am freaking awesome. And she's coming in the room. Hey, Maggie, come here, babes. Oh, there's some people that want to meet you. She's not going to meet us. So that's what we're doing here in Dallas, Texas. Come here, sweetie. Come on. No, all right. That's all right. So it's just about finding the right coach. That's all that you need to do. We talked about different ways to be able to get business. We talked about finding your way. We talked about positioning yourself so that you follow a process, so that you take what is it the result that I'm looking for, where am I at today, and what's the smallest step that I can take to be able to get from one place to the next to be able to get the result. My daughter was sliding underneath this camera here. I was trying to grab her. So that is what we want to do in our real estate sales business. So what I'm going to encourage for you to do is I'm going to encourage for you to take a look, and you'll have access. You'll continue to have access to the trading portal. So feel free to come back. If you did the activity this past week, you didn't get the results that you were hoping to get. Maybe it's because you didn't do the activity, or maybe it's because you weren't comfortable with the activity. Who did the daily missions this week, by the way? All right, Marianne, Bridget, Sarah. All right, what were your results? Violet, did I say that? Balji? Please help me with
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Balji?
Yes.
8. All right. Did you do the daily missions?
Yes, I did the Facebook ads, and I've been getting a handful of leads already.
A handful of leads already. Okay, that is
Yeah.
fantastic. Congratulations. So what we need to do is we need to be able to continue doing that activity.
Yes.
Okay, because it's about being able to continue doing the activity until you get the results that you want. What I want to encourage for everybody to do here is to not get discouraged if you're getting small amount of results. To not give up until you're in a position to be able to get the results that you're seeking to get. Does that make sense to everybody? Keep at it. Who else did the daily missions this past week? Marianne, how did that work out for you?
So I've had both of my two meetings yesterday, and
Mhm.
I just kind of developed that rapport with them. I
Okay,
answered both. The one has definitely been communicating, which I found funny. She's communicating the most with me because supposedly they had an offer coming. So,
okay,
but I just let them go and talk to them. And then on Tuesday, I do have an appointment. See, it's I think it's a mess of a house, but I'm like really curious with it because it's $2.5 million. But they've been trying to sell the sucker since like right before the pandemic. And they've been with huge realtors here in St. Louis. And I'm just kind of curious what's really going on at the house. So now I'm kind of just curious to see the damn house. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have cussed.
ooh, she's a cursor, potty mouth.
Oh, I'm a cursor. Potty mouth, that's me. So I am curious to see the house, but I can tell in the one picture they used a drone to do the photography, but they have a freaking trash can in the portico that you can see of this $2.5 million house. I'm like, if you're going to have anything in the driveway, it should have been a fast luxury car or something like that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's the part of your expertise, Marianne, that you could be able to provide to them because they're not getting the guidance on what to do as a seller to get the most amount of money.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. That's on Tuesday. So
Okay. 1 out of 7 will hire you. You clear on that? 1 out of 7
Yeah.
will hire you. Don't get discouraged
No,
if
I'm
you go
good.
to 6 and nobody hires you, right? Don't even get discouraged if you go to 7 and nobody hires you, because that's somebody that's been doing this for a while. You may have to sort of get your sea legs underneath of you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, because I
promise
normally don't like for sale by owners because I'm like, well, why should I even go over there? Because they don't respect who I am. I know what I have to do. I mean, I've had my license since 1980 something when I was in college. So why
Yeah.
should I even bother myself? But
Yeah.
I keep texting because it's not me really calling or whatever. It's just me sending a little text. If you want to let me in, fine. If not, kind of, I guess,
I
like
like it.
single again. You want to ask me out? Okay. If not, there's the door. Move on. So
Dan, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, you can.
When you say 1 out of 7, are you saying 1 out of 7 conversations you have with the lead? Or are you seeing 1 out of 7 appointments you actually go on and you're physically sit in someone's house?
Both. It's 1 out of 7 of the texts will set an appointment with me. I know you I think you make the phone calls. So it's 1 out of 7 of the people who I text will meet with me. 1 out of 7 who I meet with will hire me.
Okay.
So if you want to break it down, it's 49.
It's 14%. So you're saying you have 49 conversations for every
49 texts, 49 texts.
49 text messages.
Yeah, 49 different sellers. I have I don't have access to my phone. It's on the other end there. Right before this call, I got a phone call from a for sale by owner who was who said to me, "Hey, I want to talk to you." And I said, "I got to give you a call back in a few hours because I'm teaching a class right after this." And the for sale by owner asked me, "Can I text you a video of my home?" Like, sure, absolutely. Now I know that they're in a position right now. They're texting me that because they think that they can, get me to bring them a buyer without hiring me. Right? I know what's going on there, right? But we're in that sort of connectivity, right? If I have 7 of those a week, I'll get hired once a week. Right? It's just really, if you want to take 50 listings in the next year, here's what you do. Go to 7 face-to-face appointments with a for sale by owner each week. And then follow up with them consistently.
Dan, I have a question as well.
Sure.
So because I was diagnosed with COVID, I can't hear you.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Because I was diagnosed with COVID, I have to reschedule those appointments that I had for the FSBOs. But you had suggested possibly meeting with them over Zoom. Can you expand on that?
Yeah. what's your intention when you go on the for sale by owner appointment? And first of all, Melissa, I pray for your health, okay, before I answer that question. But for everybody, what's your intention when you go on a for sale by owner appointment?
To build the relationship.
Okay. So, so you could suggest them, say, listen, they'll have compassion for you, right? Everybody will have compassion for you. And so you could say to them, what your scenario is, and say, I'd love to still be able to see your home. Is it possible that you could take me on a FaceTime tour? Is it possible that you could take me on a duo or a Zoom tour? Okay. And so that would be option B. As long as you're healthy enough to do that, then go ahead and take them out, take a FaceTime tour. And again, your only intention there is to be able to get the appointment. I'm sorry, to be able to get the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then you can provide them resource such as, here's the for sale by owner help guide. Okay. You
And
can
just
do
send
that
it to them.
digitally.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you could text them, follow up. You could call them, follow up, etc. But if you need to get the face-to-face on a video, that's the most important thing that you need to do.
Okay.
Okay. Because without the face-to-face, it's going to be hard to connect with them on the phone.
Okay. I do have a follow-up question regarding that help guide,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you want me to ask it afterwards. That's
let's hang on because I got 4 minutes left. So hang on, and I'll hang out here right after. All right. Couple things I want to finish up with today. Thank you all for your beautiful questions. I want to give you 10 things that require zero talent. And so for some of you are thinking that I need to, have money to do this. For some of you think that you need to have skill to do this. Some of you think that you need more time, more experience, whatever the case may be. I want you to get a pen and paper. I want you to write this down. 10 things that require zero talent. You guys ready for this? Number 1, be on time. Number 2, work ethic. Number 3, passion. Number 4, do extra. Number 5, be prepared. I'll go through those 5 again and I'll give you the next 5. Number 1 is be on time. Number 2 is work ethic. Number 3 is passion. Number 4 is do extra. Number 5 is be prepared. Number 6, focus on your positive attitude. Number 7, the effort that you choose to exert. Number 9, the energy that you choose to exert. Number 10, body language. Sorry, that was number 9. I got confused. No, I skipped one. Number 9 was body language. And number 10 is attitude. Number 10 is be coachable. Go through those one more time. Be on time, work ethic, passion, do extra, be prepared. Effort, energy, body language, attitude, be coachable. Excuse me for the screw. I got a little bit distracted in my environment right now. Those are the 10 things that take you no time, no talent, no money that we all possess. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie put it in there for me. She helped clean up my mess there. So I'm going to do a drawing for the grand prizes right here. I got this little fancy cup that I found in my hotel room. Before I do that, I will definitely ask for you, if you're not getting the results in your business, if you're not getting what you want in your business, book a call with me, 45 minutes, and we'll take a look. And I promise you'll get at least one nugget of something that will help you in your business. For those of you that had some questions, feel free to hang on. Before that, I'm going to go ahead and draw. I promised yesterday that I would do a Facebook Live on for the book. I did not do that. So Baljeet, You just won yourself a book. Congratulations. Woohoo! Leslie, make sure you're writing these down, please. All right. We're gonna do this. All right. So the next two prizes are gonna be to have a 45-minute coaching call with me. And then the grand prize is to be featured on the Consistent Predictable Income Community Podcast. So coaching call is Kayla Barker. Are you with us, Kayla? I hope you're with us. I don't see Kayla with us. Well, we'll make sure that Kayla knows that she won that. And the next coaching call would be for Wesley LaPlante. So Wesley, oh, there you are. Hello, Wesley. Congratulations. Wesley gets that coaching call. And the grand prize for a guest on the CPI, Consistent Predictable Income Community for Real Estate Agent Podcast is Mindy Davis. Congratulations, Mindy. Woohoo! All right. So Mindy, Leslie or Sarah will reach out to all of you guys to get your addresses, etc. Thank you for attending this past week. I will hang out for a few minutes to answer questions, and we'll cut it from Facebook or from YouTube Live. Before we do that, if you're watching on YouTube Live, please go ahead and subscribe, smash the like button, set up a call. I'd be happy to talk to you as well.